Like I said yesterday, I'm going to teach today to make a video for Cedar Ridge High School. Everyone say hi.
What's up?
So yeah, yesterday I assuming you guys started the Korean War with Mr. Frecker.
Yeah.
And so background information you guys pretty much have. We're going to talk about for a little bit. But mainly today we're going to talk about kind of who started it, and we're going to look at different perspectives on how North Korea started. There's your bias already, Chris. We're going to look at a textbook insert from North Korea saying kind of their view on it, and then we're also going to look at one from South Korea saying their view. But when you're reading it, you're not going to know which one. It's just labeled textbook A, textbook B. So the kind of goal of this is to kind of learn how to leave your biases out and kind of interpret how different sides are going to discuss or put their viewpoint on different things. I'm sure you guys understand this. The whole he said, she said thing. Just about every day I got a boy and girl coming in here bickering at each other about, Mr. Brown, he said this, and blah, blah, blah. And I just don't listen because I don't believe any of you. Especially you two back there. This is, we're going to put that picture there I can find on YouTube.
I just looked at him because he's always touching me. Stop touching me now.
I didn't touch her.
Stand back here because
Alright, so anyways, the point of this activity is just so you guys can be aware of how any type of book, historical or not, magazine, whatever, whoever's writing this, more than likely they're going to have their own bias. It's almost human nature in a way. You guys have probably heard different stories already about how people are portrayed in history. United States textbooks, they're not perfect. I think they're pretty biased for the most part. What are some things you guys have learned about that you think have two sides to the story, but maybe you only learned about one of them?
That we really didn't do anything before, and that really started the problem. That we just like, damn.
Slow down, don't get too advanced. So I think that I've learned about in the past, or even like other classes. Chris?
The North started the Civil War.
The North started the Civil War?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, one thing I would like to do is get a textbook from the South, like right after like the Civil War, and like just see the just to see how like obnoxious it is. I think it'd be pretty interesting.
Don't let Nazis. We all know from our point of view on how Hitler was, but like, but then.
So we see how it's like socialists or fascists, like we think of them and their ideology as like Hitler, like they all like wanted to like start the Holocaust and stuff like that.
And like, if you look at a lot of things like Hitler did, general himself, like he was pretty smart in that kind of area.
Yeah.
Like we could take that and put it in the arm and we could be better. But like we don't see a lot of that kind of stuff. We just see that he killed 6 million Jews for fun. So
Yeah. That's a good point. Any other points? Think about some other wars in the United States history. The first one. Revolutionary War? What were the soldiers called?
Well, actually.
What were United States soldiers called? Patriots? What do you think Britain called them?
Rebels.
Rebels, yeah. So you got one side saying, oh man, we're patriots, we're doing the right thing. And then you have Britain saying, no, these people are overthrowing a country, it's not a good thing. Fine?
This isn't a war, but like the way that we view like 9/11, you see like, you know, we have like racial profiling on all types of people like that look like terrorists when really, I mean, there's been some talk about us actually being a part of
Yeah.
America, not.
To kind of like, to start, I know what you mean, like some people like have speculated maybe America would let this happen so we could get into a war and push like our beliefs on Muslim countries and stuff like that. Another thing with 9/11, what do we call the people that were responsible for the attacks?
Terrorists.
Terrorists.
Muslims.
What did they call themselves?
Heroes.
Yeah.
Muslims.
Heroes.
I thought it was
Warriors.
Huh? Warriors. I've always heard freedom fighters.
Oh, okay.
So it just depends how you look at things. You guys noticed at the election last year, Fox and CNN.
Yeah.
Huh?
Fox.
Those what?
Two different opinions for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't throw it at me. So yeah, and the Washington crossing the Delaware, this looks like really strong patriots. We're going to take what's ours from these terrible British. And so this picture is on just about every history textbook. Huh?
Like people never know what really happened. They just create their own image of what they thought.
Like the winner writes the story. Like Brian, I'm sure after all Brian's football games, he like exaggerates what he did.
You know, I got that right there.
No, how can you exaggerate when you're losing?
I got stats.
So how can you exaggerate when you're losing?
Hey, that's what good like politicians do. They can argue both sides. They can not believe in something at all and convince every single person that they do and have really good valid points.
Hey,
Huh?
I'm not gonna say
It should be.
Right, so just kind of like keep in mind some of these, like how people view what they did or what their country did in different textbooks and stuff like that. Just to give you some quick background information on the Korean War, even though I know you guys covered it or started covering it yesterday. Korean War becomes the first hot war. What's this mean? Actual fighting. Yeah. Chelsea, what'd you say? Actual fighting? Okay. Yeah, so hot war means actual battles going on, guns firing, people getting killed, stuff like that. Because the Cold War was more tension, series of events, but not actual fighting between the United States and Russia. So there was this a few different like hot wars where there was actual fighting. Vietnam being another one. So during World War II, the Allies divided Korea in half at the 38th parallel. You guys covered this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the North, through they're influenced by who? Stalin, communist. And the South is influenced by America, Britain, France, capitalists. I'm pretty sure that's been said in every single one of my lessons I've ever taught.
Random laugh.
Alright, so just kind of give you brief information so you guys can kind of develop your own opinions after we do this activity. George.
Yeah.
And turn your project in. Alright, so skirmishes break out on 30th parallel in 1950. After this, the war starts. American and UN forces, United Nations forces, they fight deep into North Korea until communist China enters and drives us back to about the 30th parallel. And then from there, a stalemate appears, so they're about 2 or 3 years just fighting back and forth. No one really advances or retreats. Alright, anyways, the stalemate results from the ongoing battles. No one's really winning. So the two sides, they sign an armistice, which, does that end the war?
No.
It's a
No.
ceasefire.
Ceasefire, correct. So technically,
We're still in it.
yeah, technically we're still engaged in war, even though there's been no fighting for 60 years or so. But like the 30th parallel, like now it's called the Demilitarized Zone, or DMZ, which is actually like, they just kind of found out the last like 15 or 20 years. This is most like one of the most like biodiversity enriched areas, just because like no one goes there afraid of like getting shot by either side or setting old landmines and stuff like that. So there's actually like all kinds of wildlife and like endangered species there, which I think is kind of cool.
You see Brian there?
No, I did not see it. All right.
They in danger. They stepping on the landmine.
is what we're gonna do. I got the two.
Oh, that's too long.
Kelsey, it's 2 paragraphs.
Oh, I thought it was 2 pages.
No, back is some questions you gotta answer.
Oh, okay. Too long.
I know it is. I'll concise it down to 1 sentence tomorrow. How about that?
Tomorrow's
You never won't
Saturday.
be here tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Saturday, just saying.
We got your back.
Alright, so whenever you're reading through these, this is what I want you to do. Keep in mind, or leave out your biases, I should say. Huh? No, we're do this silently and then talk about it as a class. Okay? No, because sometimes you guys work in groups and read. Some people don't read.
Daddy does
Anyways, so whenever you're reading through this, you can mark on this. So actually, please mark on this. And just like circle like adjectives that like describe either like the enemy or the home side, the good guys. Just kind of be aware of how each textbook is wording things differently, accusing the other side of starting the war and stuff like that. So please write on these, and then after you get done reading it, answer just the first question. Don't do dumb calls.
Let's cut that out.
What?
Let's edit it out.
Anyways, so after you get done reading and marking things up, then answer question 1. Just question 1 for now, okay? Then we're going to talk about it, and then we're going to answer the other questions, talk about it. Answer other questions, talk about it. Then we're going to keep talking about it.
But we have to annotate this?
Huh?
You said mark it up.
You don't have to.
Okay.
He said he preferred.
But then we're gonna we're gonna go through each one, like, so I want you guys to like be aware of which one you want to talk about.
I don't want to talk about it anyway. Ow, just like that. I just don't want to talk about it.
We'll talk about questions.
So you ain't know what you're
I just want to talk.
I just want to sleep.
I ain't back.
Yeah, I think you said
Work quietly.
Alright, though.
We're not doing this in groups.
You guys tell the difference between the documents?
Yes.
No. Just a little bit?
No, a lot of it.
A lot of it.
A lot of it? I think they're adding that phrase to the Webster Dictionary. Really soon.
You're kidding.
A lot of it.
Yeah, me and Brandon.
I'm making that up.
I'm still like it.
We're gonna add the Bubba West lingo to the dictionary.
Hey, that's too bad. Added
Alright, anyways. Textbook A, what are some things that you noticed? Some strong adjectives used for or against either side? Nikki?
Well, when they was talking about the other countries, they was like alongside of puppets.
Puppets?
Yeah.
Alright, what else? Paige?
I described the growth as astonishing.
The growth as astonishing. Where's that at? Oh yeah. The astonishing growth of the power of the Republic. And brought a point up, both of these documents call themselves the Republic. Why do you think that might be? What are you saying? They both think they're better than the other. They both think they're the true, like, Korea. It's a good point. Kelsey?
I want to do something else.
What?
Like I'm saying, like you still answer your question.
Yeah, textbook A, like what other
Okay.
things that you
They
noticed?
kept calling themselves a very peaceful country. That North Korea is a very peaceful country.
Yeah, the North half of the Republic,
Republic.
a once peaceful country, now South and Americans like kind of screwing it up. Chris?
They said Americans were aggressors that were jealous of the fast-paced growth of their capitalist society.
Brian?
I thought he said caution.
They used a lot of adjectives like aggressive, furiously, and they like described themselves as peaceful.
Yeah.
You didn't know this one?
No, the first line you said was perfect. The American imperialists fiercely carried out war plans. First Americans, then calling us imperialists, like we're trying to take over land, and we're doing that furiously. So like, lots of strong words describing our actions, as well as good adjectives portraying North Korea as a peaceful, fun-loving country.
Didn't see
All right, textbook B. What are some things you guys noticed?
I said that I had social confusion.
Social confusion. That North Korea was like causing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? Sarah?
What are you asking?
What are some things in textbook B that like kind of maybe bias or over exaggerating or?
Well, I mean, I don't know how to say that, but God bless you. It says they fought courageously to defend the liberty of the country in South Korea.
Mhm.
They're kind of making their country look like, you know, the good guys, like they're the heroes.
Yeah, definitely. That's a really good point.
I think they were trying to show that North Korea was also under dictatorship by bringing up Kim.
Yeah, they bring up Kim Il Sung,
Yeah.
who was the first dictator of Korea, North Korea. Who's his kid?
His kid is the next one that was underneath it.
And then who's his kid?
The one that's
The
in
leader
power
now.
now.
Kim Jong Un. Yeah, one that's kind of been
Stupid.
making a lot of threats and whatnot, right? Like that.
Yeah, I think he was.
So that's one thing to point out, like how this family has been in power since 1950. It's pretty crazy. And
Okay, well, in B, they said that the North Koreans were preparing themselves for war, but in A, they said that the enemies unexpectedly attacked them. So there's a lot.
yeah, so yeah, one document saying North Korea was peaceful, hanging out, and then unexpectedly they were attacked. And this one, it says the North Korean. I like how they say the North Korean communists too. They don't say
Yeah.
North Korea like they are communists. Try to point that out, and they were preparing themselves for war. Kelsey?
And then also, the comparison of textbook A, they call pretty much the UN Army, they call them their puppets
Yeah.
in the textbook A.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was comparing it. I was comparing textbooks. I was just looking at.
All right, so yeah, you guys did a good job. Like, there's all kinds of really obvious things and differences about them. All right, now I'll go ahead and answer the second question. Which of these textbooks do you find more trustworthy? And why? It's always about why or because. You are turning these in. How many points? 8,500.
That'll give you back from 45
All right, take a couple minutes to answer question 2. When you answer question 2, state why. Why you believe one document was more trustworthy than the other.
This is just a short answer, right?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be a.
Okay.
But I want an explanation for it.
You want everyone to answer? Are you gonna ask everyone their opinion? Are you gonna ask everyone their opinion?
No.
Valid.
All right, take another minute. Shh. One more minute. Overachievers. Huh?
Like history, that's like that's too much pressure. I get nervous. I can't do it.
Okay, can I go now? Oh my God.
All right. What's up, Kelsey?
I thought I was gonna go.
Yeah. Do you want to answer question 2 for us? Which one do you think is more friendly?
I said textbook B just because that's what we learned now.
That's what you learned kind of yesterday a little bit.
Yeah, and that's what we learned in this country, period.
Okay. And
I would say textbook B because the use of adjectives isn't as strong, so that just shows that they're less opinionated and they're giving you more facts.
okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you were gonna say that? Sometimes great minds think alike.
I'd say textbook B because, like communist Russia was known for being aggressive. They like overthrew a whole bunch of countries in that sense. So communists in general are bad people.
Communists in general, bad people.
Nice opinion.
Nice opinion. All right. Yeah. So, but for the most part, you guys kind of Kelsey said what we learned yesterday, and also just kind of views on North Korea. And then Ann brought up a good point of usually sometimes if people are over exaggerated, it might mean they're lying even more. So what do you guys think? Oh, first of all, which textbook do you think is North Korea's?
North Korea is the
It's
bottom.
Son,
North Korea is the bottom one because it says great
like the
leaders.
screen. Huh?
The textbook A is North.
Textbook A is North Korea?
Yeah.
And which one does that go with?
The bottom.
The history of the revolution of our great leader, Kim Il-sung?
Yeah.
That's their high school textbook.
That's the name of it?
That is the high school textbook in North Korea.
Really? Y'all bet that
Yes.
is their textbook. That is petty. Oh my God. Yeah, oh my God.
So there might be a little bit of bias in that. It'd be cool if we had like a textbook like our awesome, cool dude leader George W. Bush or something like that. It's like a big picture.
Why can't it be Obama?
Huh? Because George Bush is like the funniest character ever. Right, yeah. So textbook B goes. Textbook B goes Korean history, senior high. So real quick, most of you probably already filled that in for question 3. Go ahead and answer that one, just so I know that you wrote it down and you're paying attention. I'm gonna just state why. Some of the clues that made
I
you
was
think
going to
that.
say, this is on the north side. This is on the top of things. This is on the top. I'm saying, this is on the top of things. This is on the top. That boy Brian gonna cry when he get in the hallway.
Just hold on, I got a broken foot, guys. Can't walk around all day.
Well, you have to exercise it or else it's not going to be better.
Yeah, just add. Yeah, actually, the school I'm applying for is won the state championship in football, Brian.
Hey, y'all some bosses. Y'all some bosses. Y'all should come show this boy how to play football.
I would go there and start anywhere.
I bet you
Well, there's only 250 kids, so it might not be the best
I
comparison.
bet you would start. It's only 250 kids at school. Never mind.
Brian, you have to wait for 3 people to get injured. That's a good one.
How many people went to your school?
Columbia?
Yeah.
I think like 600 or so when I graduated.
Wait a minute, that's
That's
your
just
class?
class.
Like your whole school, that's
The
your
whole
class.
school.
Dang. Hey, we deep over here.
My dad in high school only had about 200 kids.
Yeah.
That was the old
Right. So do you guys all agree that textbook A was from North Korea, textbook B from South Korea?
Yeah.
Alright, one thing I want to bring up
You can tell him.
are biases. For question 2 is, which of these textbooks do you find more trustworthy? What possible biases that we, as Americans, as people that usually are involved in seeing media every single day, well, how could that influence our answers to that question? Sarah?
Automatically, we would have picked the one that wasn't North Korea because we don't like communism.
You don't want communism? Maybe I do.
You should go to Korea.
I don't think I'm one in there. Kelsey?
We'll also choose textbook B because in textbook A, they're kind of like slashing our country and downing our country. So
Okay.
I'm not gonna pick.
So we're reading these as Americans, not a person trying to study
Yeah.
actual. So that's always a bias of where you're from. It takes a really,
That's like people talking about good.
it takes really like, I don't want to say educated, but like a person that kind of can see both sides to read both of these.
Studies person.
Huh? Studious. But yeah, it takes a lot of like self-control to read the side from North Korea and maybe see some of their points.
And not get upset.
Yeah.
So,
Wouldn't better be.
So yeah, when
because
things.
Chris was over there upset.
Someone
Hey,
uneducated.
Chris was upset.
About
The North Korean document.
Wouldn't an uneducated person read these better and have less bias opinions?
In a way, if they did it, like, if like a person that like never like reads news. Well, yeah, what do you guys see in the media the last like month?
Terrorism.
People dying.
That North Korea wants to drop or shoot nuclear weapons, test nuclear weapons and stuff like that. Of course.
Like, let's go die.
Of course, that's going to play into our decision of what we see. So you got to always pay attention to kind of what our media portrays.
It's always two sides to one story.
Yeah, and I can kind of, I'm not like supporting North Korea at all, so I'm like yelling.
Sure you
Oh, and it's the same thing with Iran. Like, they want nuclear weapons because the United States has nuclear weapons closer to them. They have troops stationed around them, so they're kind of their philosophy is, hey, if we have weapons too, then nothing will happen. Which I can understand why they would want to do that.
I do too. Who made us the big country?
We do.
We need. We some bosses.
We Russians. Like the big bosses.
I mean, so like,
We're not bosses in education. We're not bosses in
Like soccer.
we're bosses at
We're not
basketball,
See, that's sports. That's all. That's all I can do.
and our military.
That's all I can eat.
We're also
Eating,
We're
you're
the
very good
obese
eater.
That's the only thing I give my country is sports
Africa
and
eat better than
military.
us.
That's all right there.
It said Africa, if you're pleasantly plump, you are.
I mean, we used to have those same,
people are pleasantly plump.
we used to have those same values here. I mean, back in the day when like people had to produce a lot of children to work on the farm, they wanted a healthy woman, one that could support giving birth a lot of times and stuff like that. So like, it depends what kind of culture you live in on how
Yeah, because that's,
people
you know,
perceive women.
Okay, what's the definition of hefty?
Girls. Fake girls.
Wait,
I think it's a I think it's a
Alright, I'll collect these. The bell's gonna ring here in a few minutes. So yeah, that's all I got.